Hello everyone, I am Blankera. Today we're going to continue drawing Ines from Arknights. So, I was looking at all the colors and stuff here, and I think the balance and the pose and all that is pretty good. But I don't think I quite like the red. So I just wanted to make it a little bit brighter. Not too much. I don't want it to be like super overpowering. But here I just thought it was a little bit weak, considering, it's the only color in there. So I wanted to see about adjusting that a little bit. Fortunately, with the way I do things, it only takes a little bit to... Why did that have reduced opacity? It only takes a little bit to go and fix things. There actually probably is a good way to do a certain amount of selective color changing in this program, but I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to worry about it. And then we'll put some... There we go. And here. So there we go. I think that's a little bit better. It's a very subtle change, but that's alright. Sometimes the subtle changes can make the biggest difference, especially when I'm going for such a minimal style like this. Next, I wanted to, double check to make sure I like the pose and the balance and all that still, and I do. That's where I think it's good to look away for a little while. I'm even going to mirror the canvas here just so I can get a good look and make sure I like what I see. But I think we're looking pretty good. So next is just going in and starting to refine everything. I think the proportions are mostly correct, there's still some stuff on her face that looks a little bit weird. And I'm gonna go in and work on here. I'm wondering how much of it is the extra strands in her hair and how much of it is the face itself. I might just need to... I think I can get away with keeping those strands if I make a little bit more of her face on this side visible. It's just a matter of finding all of those little balances. It can be a bit tricky sometimes. Yes. This would help if I unlocked the layer so I could actually paint on it. Normally I have the other problem where I forget to lock the layer and suddenly I'm coloring outside the lines and I'm like, oh no. Here it's... Oh no, I forgot to unlock it. So I might be able to get away with something like that. Just adjust shape of the hair a little bit here, because I feel like the side of her face was looking a bit strange. And as I start refining things, I'm probably going to have to go and hide layers often. I normally do. In fact, I actually think I'm going to go hide this. I'm going to go put these into a group. So I can hide both the black part and the red part without having to click twice. If you can be lazy, why not be lazy? Especially considering I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to be hiding that all the time. I assume, yeah, that's just the hair kind of coming up through there. We'll clean some of this up, and probably gonna take me a little bit to be fully satisfied with all the shapes. That's pretty normal. Alright, gonna hide this for a second too. But this way I can refine the front hair. It's like you can see most of it is hidden. I mean, this is why I just have not been at all bothering with, you know, making it look completely correct. Like if everything's kind of broken and doesn't necessarily make sense, but like that's fine because you're not really going to see most of it. It's just going to be kind of hidden and lost in certain aspects of the background. It's just the nature of this style. And what makes it kind of interesting. So how I work on this is a bit different from how I work on other types. Just because you don't want to waste a whole bunch of effort making something look nice when you're just not going to use it. I'm gonna turn on this for a little bit. Okay. In fact, I think I'm actually gonna refine it a little bit more to be a bit more accurate for her head. Before I was using it as a guide for the direction of the body and how all that should play out. But now I need to use it for her head. You can see here I'm putting lines for where the eyes are going to be and where the jaw is going to be. So it's going to be something like this, I think. I think that looks like it's correctly wrapping around. Now I can reduce the opacity again and get in and make this head look correct. I still have a bit of trouble with jaws, so sometimes having a few guides can be a little helpful. This side probably goes up a bit more like this. Just use those guides to kind of help me understand how all of this is wrapping around and existing in 3D space. Even once you get used to drawing, it can be a little bit hard to picture sometimes, especially in more extreme poses like this. That's why you just gotta learn some things to kind of help you out. Hide the front hair for a second. And it's like I think it's starting to look much better already. So it's always nice when that works out. Okay, the hair back on. Come over here. I want to add a little bit more over here. I know I erased a bunch of stuff on the cheek to try something, but I'm not sure if that was the right thing. As always, sometimes you just gotta try a couple of different things and see what works. Try to get the shape of the hair to kind of match what I drew there. And I'm gonna take another look at her official art. Get a feel for how her hair's going. Surprisingly messy. Surprisingly messy, honestly. I guess that makes sense given she has some strands of hair on her face, but she struck me as a bit of an elegant type when reading her lines in the game, so But I guess she's an elegant type that's doing a lot of very questionable things. Down in the trenches, kind of elegant. Alright, gonna flip this back around. Make sure I'm not making this side of her head too flat. Alright. Let's go ahead and erase some of this piece of the head that it's sticking out now. And I want to take a look without the guides. Yeah, I think that's looking a lot better. Let me see, is that chin in the right place? Like sometimes anime puts chins in places that don't look quite right to me. No, I think this is in the right place. I think it has less to do with the location of certain things and more that maybe her head is not attached to the rest of her body correctly yet. Let me try to push that down a little bit. Something like that. And probably back here a little bit more. Okay. Now I want to take a look at the placement of the eyes and the rotation on them. I think this eye looks really good. I'm not so sure about this one yet. I'm gonna turn my guides back on. Maybe that'll help me get an idea of where this other one should go. Well, yeah. Everything's in a slightly different spot, but it's okay as long as I can kind of see where the eyes should be. Okay. If that's not right, I might need to actually take a moment to put the guides in the correct place with the with how I moved the head over a little bit. So it's like before I do any more on the eyes, let's move the rest of her face over because I can also align it all with the nose and the mouth. I think I need to push this mouth a little further this way relative to the nose. No, I don't. If anything, it needs to be the other way. Yeah, there we go. So what flipping the canvas back and forth does is it gives you a way to look at the picture differently. Your eyes start to kind of adjust to how the image looks, and you can see now I'm doing it vertically. But your eyes start to kind of get used to how the picture looks, and when you just flip it around, it'll make you see it a little bit differently. It sounds weird, but it makes a huge difference. Definitely try it. It helps a lot. I haven't seen a single digital artist that doesn't at least flip the camera a little bit. I'm sure they exist somewhere, but I certainly don't know any. Yeah, that works. I don't think I want to add these strands, too much of these strands in until I start refining the hair though, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to erase them and mess them up as I clean that up. Okay. Well, this is giving me kind of a different view. And make it a little bit easier to figure out where this eye should be exactly and how it should be rotated. We'll be flipping things around a lot. see where I can find the parts that don't look quite right. Because, I mean, if they don't look quite right when it's flipped, that means you've done something wrong. If you have everything laid out correctly, it should still look right once you flip the canvas. I mean, you haven't changed anything. All you're doing is flipping things around. All the stuff you've drawn is still exactly the same. Let's see. I think her face is a little bit long, so I think I just need to lower this eye a little. Much as I said I liked that eye, overall I do. I think it might be slightly in the wrong place. Don't want her eyes to look droopy. They're supposed to be very, very sharp. I think this might be looking okay. Let's take a look. Let's flip it back up. Yeah, I think that's looking much better. Let's get her horns on there. Okay, so let's see, her horns are partially hidden behind her hair, which is kind of what I was doing here, but I think this one might need to be a little bit more over here. So how do I want to draw that? Do I just want to put it on top? Probably not, but I'll do that there to kind of help get this into the correct spot. Because I think having them on top will make things more complicated later. What I'll probably end up doing is down here, and then I'll add a transparency mask on the hair, where I can then very safely just erase parts of the hair that I think should be underneath the horn. And then I can go in and add strands over the horn and make that look interesting. It's like this will all be cleaned up later. I just want to make sure it's clear to me that this is hair covering the horn. This way I know what I'm talking about. Something like that. And this way I don't have to worry about all the nice shapes I made over there. And now I'm just trying to get a good understanding of how her horns are actually shaped. It does look like they are kind of just straight on her head. And then let's see, kind of, so they are flat on the side and kind of go up like this. Right now I'm trying to draw the center of the horn, just so I understand how it's facing. And on this side, it's gonna be like completely straight through here. Something like this, where this part is completely straight. I'm gonna keep it really messy, just so I'm not tempted to think that's how it's supposed to look. This is just very sketchy guidelines, so I understand. And then I think this little corner should be a bit higher. Something more like that. And there we go. There we go. Something like this. gonna go up here, kinda like this. I might need to adjust my transparency mask to really get that end the way I think it should be. Let's do that. Let the horn kind of come through here and kind of up here. Side is going to be completely straight, but it's also going to be covered with hair, so I don't mind carving it a little bit. And we'll do something like that. I don't know. That looks like hair, so that at least tells me what's going on. Zoom out a bit. Yeah, I think the head is looking pretty good. I have proportions mostly correct, and some of her props don't look great yet, but I don't think I'm quite ready to refine those. I kind of want to go and just do her eyes right now. Oh, let's do that. I can sometimes just embrace what I want to work on. Here, what I tend to do is I just pick whatever is bothering me most at the moment and refine it until it is no longer bothering me most at the moment. And then by the time I fix all the things that are bothering me, I generally have a pretty good picture. I might occasionally hide her hair a little bit just to make sure I am drawing all these shapes correctly. I want to keep her eyes very sharp. If you have a human figure with a face in your picture, it's very important to get it just right, because people will look there. If you're drawing a character, the face is basically the most important part. Everything else is just secondary. You have to nail the face. Let me see, I think I want to angle this downward just a little bit more, just to honor the shape of Ines's eyes. Which are a bit sharp, a bit flat. I'm going to kind of angle downward a little bit. Not too much. I've definitely seen characters with eyes that have a sharper angle than this, but it's very noticeable to me. Just how much her eyes slant downward. I want to get that. There we go. I think that's about right. Something like that. Erase that corner so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm probably not going to try to get them overly smooth still. Oh, am I? I am on the wrong layer. There we go. When you erase the eyeball, just want to erase this little corner of the eyelash. Yes, as I was saying, I don't want to get them, like, overly refined right now. Like, I'm still kind of in a stage where I might be changing things a lot. I just want to get them looking good enough. Good enough that I can move on to the next thing. Most of this is covered by hair, so I'm not worrying too much about it. Just enough that I can see what I'm doing and make sure I have all these angles correct. Angles are surprisingly important in drawing. You ever thought math wasn't important? Then, well, it is. There's math everywhere. You can't escape it. There we go. Okay, let me see. Yeah, very thin lower lashes, and I can see that the artist that drew her likes to draw some eyelashes like I do, so that'll be fun. I can give her extra fluffy eyelashes. Heck yeah. Okay, let's turn her hair back on. This might still be a little bit thick. So here I'm just trying to make the line thinner without really changing the angle of it. Being very, very careful to keep the angle the same. I just got it the way I wanted it. I don't want to mess that up. It'd be deeply unfortunate. Round things off a little over here. Okay. That's good. I think before I do her eyeballs, I will do her eyebrows. You have thin eyebrows, very thin eyebrows. Most anime characters do. Most people just draw a line for eyebrows and call that good. So we're just gonna go in and shave off a lot of this thickness. No need for them to be quite so thick. Alright. I'll do the one on the other side. I think it needs to be just a little touch longer. I always like to make my eyebrows just a little bit longer than the eyes. And I'll worry about getting all of the shapes correct a little bit later. I just kind of want to get the impression down. How much color is going to be there. And all that. Okay. Yeah, I think we're looking alright. Let's do the eyes. Speaking of eyes, I got a big ol' itch in mine. There we go. Can't really draw when I can't see very well. So here I'm going to be focused on, largely on getting her gaze in the right place. I want her to be looking at me here. This way she'll be looking at the viewer when the picture's done. Honestly, life is so much easier when I have an eye white, so I really just like having where the eyeball is defined, so this way I can just draw an entire round eye and move them around to find where the gaze should be. Oh, I'm just gonna do that. It's like nobody's gonna see it. It's just gonna be white like the rest of the head. But this way I can just keep the eyeball a perfect circle and I don't have to erase and redraw it a million times with just the gaze. There we go. Now I can just go in, make those irises the size I want them to be, and they'll just up exactly where they should. As you can see right now, it's not in the right place, so I can move it around. Now I don't have to redraw it a bunch of times. It's just all there for me. And I can experiment and move things around as I please. Just keep trying until she no longer looks all cross-eyed. I may or may not add further details on her eyes here. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Oh, that looks so wrong. Let's see here. Where should this be? Yes, clearly like this. Maybe I shouldn't have deleted the initial eyes that I drew. It's a bit too late now, so I'm just gonna have to figure it out. Right there seems about right. So that might be a little bit too far over. I'm gonna flip it vertically again. Yeah, okay. We're doing all right. Okay. I'll leave it there for now. I might have to move it around somewhat again. And I think the nose and mouth are fine for the stage of the drawing that I'm in. Alright. So I guess I can start working on her body a little bit. Try to get the neck looking about right. So right now, I think I might actually have her neck not quite right. Right now I have it just completely black. And I might keep it that way. Because the top part is white, and you can't... The connection from the head to the neck is a bit wonky. So I might just keep it that way. Let's see. The coat color should probably be a bit lower, though. Just drew these all very quickly when I was trying to figure out color balance. So I want to get the part where it's kind of fanning outward in the right spot. And then once I do that, I can draw how it wraps around. It's kind of like this, and then it comes up. I have the layer locked. Like that. Do I want to have shadow on it? Sometimes I add these little shadows, sometimes I don't, if I feel like it just needs a division. I'm not sure if this one does. I'll keep it for now, just to help me draw. But I may or may not keep that. Okay. It's because this style will always look a little bit flat. It's not really meant to look super three-dimensional. And I think that looks much better than it did before. And then I'll have the little bit that kind of wraps around and comes down here show through the hair. Just to show that it is wrapping around. I think this part's looking alright here. Kinda want it to floof a little bit more, maybe. And just have it fan out just over here a little bit more. And we'll take some off the side to keep that shape. There we go. At some point I'll need to worry about her hair, but I don't think that point is right now. Hair shapes are very, very complicated, especially when they have to matter as much as they do in such a minimalist style. It's like just the general how everything is shaped and where everything goes is so much more important in this than it is pretty much any other style I do. So I'm just giving the viewer so little information that every little bit of information that I draw in is just that much more important. Get right. Sounds a little intimidating when I put it like that, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. I just have to be very conscious of where I put stuff. Let's see. I'll just bring this all the way up. I think I can get away with that. And over here. Yeah, I think this is all mostly correct. Correct enough for the phase of the drawing that I'm at, probably. Let me just adjust this little corner. Let that fly out a little. And then I'll put the white border back. There we go. Right. Now remember, I wanted to take another look at her skirt because it seems like the waist might be much higher than I initially thought it was. So this muted, yes I do. So there might be less belly showing. That said, I might show that much belly anyway because why not? It's my picture, I can do what I want. Something like that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. Like I said, it's my picture. I can do what I want. I want a little bit of skirt showing on the underside of the leg here, or without just... No, I don't think I want it to be the skirt. I do think I want that separation, but I want it to be part of the leg. Just clean some of this up a little. Doesn't have to be super accurate. Connect it onto her boots a little bit better. I'll go in. Oh, I have it. And I have so many layers locked that I don't think are locked for some reason. What a weird problem to have. Okay. And then I will add this little separator right here. Because I thought that looked pretty good. Okay. How to get the shape of this right. Huh. Wonder where that white part is coming from. It's not on this. Let's... Oh, that's fine. I will wrangle the picture into submission as I always do. think before I go in and start adjusting the skirt again, I want to get what I want for this leg out there. Not worried about getting it too smooth, it's just kind of looking that way because that just happens to be how I draw this part. Okay. So right now it looks like I need to... I kind of like that shape, so I'm just gonna pull it in like this. There we go. Sometimes there's no need to redraw things if you decide you like them. Just, you know, take a selection, move it around. It's fine. I don't know if this is correct, but I think it looks pretty okay, so that should be fine. Fortunately, it looks like I was at least relatively clean in drawing this, so there's not much to just adjust. I should get most of the adjustment done today at this rate. Let me take another look at the top of her boot there. Technically, I would have normally made it white, but I think I might just leave it black. Because it's like a boot with a knee pad, and the knee pad looks more like a silver metal. But I might just draw it on there and leave it black, even though it's not. We shall see. And then it just has some, I don't know, random belt thing on her thigh. You know, as you do when you draw anime. As you do. Constantly tell myself as I draw some of these things that, man, if I see another belt again, it's going to be too soon. And yet, I keep drawing anime. Which means I'm going to see so many belts in my life, man. I'm not going too hard on the details, but it's alright. Just need to kind of get an understanding of where everything is. And I actually don't mind the way this part being a little bit tighter around the belts look. And something like that should actually be okay. I think I might want to poof out this on this side though, because right now it's looking a little bit straight. Oh, yeah, so it would help if I draw on the wrong layer, or on the right layer, wouldn't it? Sometimes when I want to check for stray pixels in pixel dirt, I just click on the little picture preview of the layer, and that'll select all the pixels on that layer. And if there are some in places that I do not think they should be, I can just go in and erase them. I want to remember that most of this leg is underneath this one, so I don't want it to curve too weirdly. And I do want it to start coming in around the knees. Alright, back to boot adjustment. Don't have to be too particular about this, just because, I mean, all of this is just going to be lost in the sea of black that is the shadows. Yeah, that should be good. At least for now. Okay. Let's get that sword. Let's see, how exactly do I want to go about doing this? That sword is very fascinating. Just twisted all the way through. Makes me wonder how it slices anything. It's okay, it looks cool, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So before I get all the twists and stuff in, I just want to get straight version in. So this way I know the overall structure of the sword. Just want to get that down there. Actually gonna hide this for a moment. And this too. This way I can see it. And I want to get it fairly straight. So once it's straight, then I can figure out where all those curves should go. And to find the center, put them all in. And it does sharpen to a point at the... Yeah, definitely. It gets very pointy. In fact, probably more so than how I would normally draw a sword. Starts tapering off much earlier. There we go, something like that. And I might just need to move some things around to get it properly straight. There we go. Okay. And we'll use Liquify to straighten it out a little bit. It's because I am not good at drawing straight lines. The handguard gets very pointy. Okay, and then I have to decide, how do I want this to be hanging off of her? With the angle she's at, it'd probably actually be more like this. But I don't think that looks as good with all her other stuff. Let's take a look. This is where we figure out where the placement of everything goes. See, I really liked this on her tummy. So maybe I should have it more like it's swinging. And have it follow her legs. There we go. And we'll just go back and hide these for a second while I get all the rest of the shapes on this correct. The handguard long. A little bit, not too much. It's more along at the top than it is the side. And what about... Yeah, it actually gets wider near the top. So it starts out a bit narrow and then gets wide. Shave off part there. Just figuring out the proportions for this little sword. Goes in and gets very pointy. I think this is another cool part about Enes's design, so I want to make sure I draw it correctly. I get the feeling people are going to want to see it. People are going to look. Oh, it's worth taking a little bit of extra time to go and check her art and make sure I got this. Wide at the top. kind of gets narrow right through here. I might still need to liquefy to get all this in the right place. And then I'll round it out a little bit through here. Now, let's put it in place. I think it needs to be a little bit more this way. No, liquefy's not helping me there. We gotta use a selection. We gotta go hard. Can't do any of this fluffy moving it around. There we go. This might be a little bit too much difference, so I might have made it a little bit too narrow at the bottom there. And then it has the little thing that kind of goes just sticking out right there. It's kind of sticking out. I think I made it a little bit too long too. Just a little bit. It's not that far off, but it's enough that I should bring it down just a little. There we go. Actually, lower this a little just so I get to keep the belly button in there. Like, look, I know what people look for. I know what people look at. They look at drawings. And there's just, we'll give a little bit of extra definition of where all this is. A little extra piece of information. Okay. Now I think this is a little thin, so I'm gonna thicken it out a little. Trying not to adjust the angles too much. I think I have those mostly right. Yeah, no, it's long. Let's go in, push that around, and get it to where I think it needs to go. Probably facing a little bit more downward. There we go. Actually, I think I want this side to be a little bit longer. Oh, no. I think they're actually both a bit too long. So let me see, how long is this relative? Yeah, this is an isosceles triangle. I need to make sure that these are shorter than this. These are the things you have to pay attention to when drawing something. This is what proportions really are. It's not really about anatomy. It's just how big are things relative to other things. There we go. Let's flip. Okay, I do think I'm gonna go in and add the curls, but I'm gonna duplicate the sword layer because I'm scared. Let's see, would it make more sense for it to be red or white? White, I think, actually. I was thinking would make more sense for it to be red, but I think it actually is white. Which way does it go? Goes towards her body. So that'll be like this. And do they get... How big are they? So it looks like they start out big and then get much smaller. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to divide this into eighths in my head. Start out big. Gradually gets smaller. Gonna be 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And then I floof it out. How do those parts look? Just taking a look to make sure I draw it all right. It goes kind of like this. I'll focus mostly on this side for now because that's where I see most of the curl. I'm definitely gonna have to redraw a bunch of this, but I'm just trying to get the basics down. Yes. Okay, now let's go in and make that curl a little. We have it moving around like this, comes down, and it'll come out like this. Little parallelograms. I'll make it look curly. Use those little parallelograms. And it might take me a couple of tries to get right. That's why I drew this on another layer. This way, if I don't like it, I can delete it and then get my base sword template back out. I do think I have to get all these curves in now. Everything else is pretty much refined, but I guess it's not looking that awful. Probably just gonna have to add in various marks to help me see what I'm doing here. And that's fine. I'll just get it started. That'll help me see later as I refine it further. Art is just all about seeing. Gotta see the shapes, gotta see the patterns, and the textures. And after a while, you just start gradually training your eyes, and you just, as your familiarity with what the world looks like grows, and the things that you're trying to draw work, and it'll just get easier. That's why everybody tells you to practice. And go out and look at things. Find something pretty. Okay. The scary parts. Let's get the blades in there. Need to hide her tummy. There we go. We'll get some blades in there wrapping around. And that should help me figure out where all these parts should go. That's why I said I just kind of needed to get it started. So this will wrap around here. Kind of come around, come out here. And this will kind of come around, come out here. Some of this is going to go back to being black, but this is just to help me understand it. And this wraps around, comes out over here. I was actually drawing this a little bit too tall. That's okay. That's probably why it looked a little strange to my eyes. I want it to come out a little. But that's why I'm doing it like this now. Then this little part will come out over here, wrap around, Come on out. I'm just gonna go and make all of this exist. There we go. We'll come around. Kind of come out here. Loop on through. Just gonna go ahead and draw the rest of these loops before I go and clean up further. Comes through here. Comes down. All around. Up and around. And around. Until I think it just stops. I guess on mine I'll let it come all the way down. We'll see if I want to keep that balance like that. I might not. I might not want that much white in my goat. Alright, now we can get the black parts in. Around. Really get that in there. Trying to make it so that the white is always on the edge here. There we go. This is going to require considerable amounts of cleaning, but that is okay. I can handle a bit of cleaning. Cleaning can be a little bit tedious, but in this style it doesn't actually take as long as it does in a lot of the other ones I do. Let's come through. There. Get the shape of the blade just the way I want it. How's it looking so far? Yeah, that's looking about right. I might still need to adjust some parts, but I think this is going to be pretty good for now. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that little bit of stray pixel was not part of the sword. It's going to take me a little bit to get through all these curves, but it's important that I draw them all correctly. This way it all looks nice and interesting once it comes time to smooth it out and make it all pretty. There we go. There you go. And we'll just come in again. Clear out all the spots that aren't going to be visible. Connect any other black spots that I need. All the way down. Like, man, we're already getting to the point where I can't just stream of consciousness about exactly what I'm doing at the moment. I'll just start repeating myself. That's a weird thought. Before, there was just so much to talk about. It's just kind of how it is with painting. It's like all the creative stuff happens early on, and then you just clean it up and make it look pretty. There we go. And okay. Almost there. What's this little guy left? Doesn't quite look like her sword yet. I guess I'll have to do a little bit more on it. I think I might take a break from that spot and take a look at some other spots. Let's see, let's visit the cape thing. Oh yeah, and I guess at some point I should put gloves on her arms. Didn't draw those last time. So let's see, let's hide this sword for a second. How do I want this cape thing to flow? I actually think the back looks pretty good. Go ahead and put some black through here. And if I'm gonna have shadows there, then I should have shadows on the rest of it. Show the shapes. Otherwise it'll be a bit strange. I'll just go in. Make this a little bit stronger. Here we go. But now this part. I do think I want to keep the entire thing red, even though the front of it is technically black. Just because I need the red to stick out against all the black that's in this area. Let's see, I think I probably... Let me see, if it's shifting that way... And this should be a little bit more... like this. Like this, but that doesn't look as good, so we're gonna keep it like this. Okay. Easy. In fact, we're gonna exaggerate it a bit more. Then I'm gonna redraw this part. I don't care if it doesn't make sense. So we have a spot sticking out here. And then it's gonna roll into the next spot. Which is gonna do something like this. As it curls around. Yeah, there we go. We'll go in and we'll let it curl. I think I'll add the shadow underneath. I don't think this exactly makes sense, but I think it looks pretty alright. So I'm gonna keep it like that. That's just how it works sometimes. Cool overrides making sense. Did I put those? Okay, I did put the red lines here. Top on the cape layer, which honestly I think is okay. Okay, so I see up here that it kind of attaches to the belt like more like this, where it gets wide. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then these red strings are, I think they're fine the way they are. And then those belts are black, but I have elected to make them white because I can. That would go all the way up here. No, they actually do connect directly to the red thing. Which means I want to change its location because I want that white part there. We're just gonna pull this up a little. There we go. Make this floof a little bit more. A little bit floof back there. Okay. And that means this is gonna kind of come down. This one will connect to the red part the other side, and I don't know where this connects to. I'm not convinced the artist does either. The original artist, that is the one that designed this character. So it's okay, I can do what I want. And there's a couple of builds coming up here, but I'm not sure if I want to care about those. Yeah, this looks better. So I think that's fine. Alright, now how much do I want to worry about all the stuff coming off the cape thing? Because man, she has all kinds of little pouches and stuff. I guess I should kind of acknowledge it a little bit. I can acknowledge a couple of pouches. Most of it's black anyway, which means it's just kind of gonna fade into nothingness. But I'll acknowledge some of the stuff coming up here. I think there were 4. Yep. I won't worry about the needle and all the stuff that's going to be hanging off the other side there. I'm not quite sure what that is. I guess it's just a little pouch. I'll just go ahead and draw it here. Something like this. There we go. That's fine. Okay. I want to take a look at the zipper on her coat. I noticed that there was this little thing that I have drawn down here, and I can see on her art exactly what that's supposed to be. So let's go draw that properly now. We have it locked. It's kind of parallel to the coat collar. And then of course the zipper doesn't go through that. Here we go. Just like that. Okay. And then she has all these weird spikes kind of going through the collar of her coat, looking like they're about to stab her in the neck, which makes me very nervous about drawing this pose. Going the other way. And kind of a smaller one, maybe like right here. In fact, I can move this one over a little bit. There we go. So let me get the general shape here. And then I'll go back and clean up the point where it's going to be going through the coat here. Okay. Guess I'll put some of the details on from the little thing hanging off the side there on this layer too. Let's see. We got a belt kind of go all the way down. No, just really short distance. And here, where there's like pill bottles. Or just does it go all the way to the edge? No. This kind of sits on top. So I'll just go ahead and put that in. Something like this. Probably put it a little bit too low, so let's go put it higher. There we go. We got something like this. With... Right now I'm just getting all the parts on roughly in perspective. That this way I can go back in and refine them nice and easy later. So I want to make sure that everything is on. So we're getting to the point where I want to be getting into final painting territory soon. So it's time to get all the details in, all of them. Just fine if it's a little blobby. I just have to care about the angle that everything is at. Okay. Anything else on her top or skirt I should pay attention to? Doesn't seem so. Got that. I've got the sword drawn. Alright, let's give her some gloves. Where did I even put all these arms? I kind of drape off like this. Go into her armpit and drape off. Maybe even a little bit higher than that. There we go. This will make that arm even more invisible than it already was. And then kind of the same thing over here. Where, let's see. It hangs off the shoulders like right here. It's gonna do something like this. I kind of want to keep some contrast there. That's tricky. Guess I'll have to do it kind of like this. That should be fine. Okay, is there stuff on the gloves? A little bit, but not that much stuff. Are they symmetrical? Do I get to see her other arm? Oh, huh, it actually doesn't go into her armpit. Just randomly connects right here. Okay. This is why we check. And then there's just this weird metal bit and weird red bit. I'm gonna do the red bit first. It kind of comes out here. Goes whoosh. Something like that. It's on the bottom of that. Cross. I'm definitely not going to worry about making this look very nice because it's just going to go into blackness. Okay, that should be fine. It's like, strictly speaking, it should probably be bigger, but like I said, it's just going into blackness, so I don't really care what it's doing. And then on top of that, there's this metal bit kind of hanging out there. Draw it like this, just to keep my life simple. Try to get those angles correct, though. Doesn't look like it's actually coming that far off of her arm. I probably want it more like this. I'll just go in, find this a little bit. There we go. Something like that. I think I'll just make the red bit wrap around the rest of her arm. Like this. There. Okay, let's turn on the other layers. Just a copy of sword for now. The weapon there. I think this is where I will stop it for today, though. Oh my. Yeah, see, this is why I need to check. Because even if it's not technically correct, I really do not want that string, like, going to the goat's mouth. That's just weird. So I'll make it a little bit shorter. That should be fine. The sword going into the goat's mouth is totally fine, however. Alright, so I will stop it there. Thank you everyone for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at any of your creative works, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, anything you can think of, please feel free to message me on Twitter or Instagram, or just at me, and I will take a look and maybe leave some comments. Goodbye, everyone.